Welcome back to this tutorial series on Proximal One, an interactive audio system for Unreal Engine. In this video I'm going to show you how you can trigger your own game logic or any blueprint logic so that it will synchronize with the stopping and starting of instances. Okay, so you can do this with any instance. So you can specify a single instance to trigger something, and then you can use a different instance to trigger something else. So this is done by using event dispatchers. So there's two event dispatchers at your disposal. So as an example, I've got this cube set up over here, and this cube is from a completely different blueprint, but we can set it so that the cube will change color when we enter the collision box, and it will change color when we exit the collision box. So actually what I think I might do is just scale it up a little bit as well so we can see it a bit easier. So if I just hit play now, so you can see it's kind of orangey red color at the moment. It's changed to blue, and as the meta sound stopped, it changed. So we'll try that again. Okay, so let's crack on. So to demonstrate it working, we're going to use this cube, and we're going to assign a material to it, and then we're going to change the color of the material. So to start off with, I'm going to need to create a material. So we'll just call it tutorial, and then just double click on it. And then I'm going to create a color for it, so hold down 3 and left mouse click, and then I'm going to change that to a parameter, and spell it the English way. So just going to set it to red and plug it into the emissive, and then save that, and then back in the content browser I'm going to right click and select blueprint class. Going to use actor, and I'm just going to call it color change. Actually, you should probably put BP in the front of the name, but it doesn't matter. So in the event graph, I am just going to use the event begin play for this. So first thing that I'm going to want to do, actually, I think, is put our cube in the blueprint, and then I'm going to assign that material to it, so it's got a default material. So just make this window a little bit bigger. So the first thing that I'm going to want to do is create a dynamic material instance for the material, so we can change it. So if I drag that component into the graph, and then I can drag off of that and search for create dynamic material instance. Okay. And then also we want to assign the material to that as well. So just going to click on that, connect it to the execution pin, and we're also going to want a reference for this dynamic material. So if we drag off that and just select promote to variable, and over here I'm just going to rename it, so dynamic material reference. So quite a basic name, but that's enough for what we want to achieve. So next we want to actually create the logic that receives our event dispatchers, and I'll show you how to do that now. So if you drag off of the execution pin from there and search for get all actors of class, and it's this one, so you just select that. So in the drop down menu, if you click on that and then just search for proximal, and then you want to select this one, BP proximal audio. You don't want this one, BP proximal audio clock, because that's not going to work, so just select that one. And then the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do a check to make sure that there's at least one instance of our blueprint in the level. So on the out actors node, if you drag off of that and search for a length node, and then on the integer output pin, just pull off of that and search for a greater node. And so we want to only run this when there's at least one. So at the moment it's if it's greater than 0, so that's what we want. So if we pull off of the boolean out on it and search for a branch node, and we can connect that execution pin to the branch node. Now the next bit, we want to add a bind event node, and the way to get that is you need to drag off of this pin. If you drag off of that, it's not going to be able to find it, so you just drag off of that again. And now if we type proximal, we've got two here. You see, we've got bind event to proximal start trigger and bind event to proximal stop trigger. So we're going to add both of those. So just add that one in, and then just do the same thing again, and choose that one. So because we're going to run both of these, we're going to use a sequence node. So type in sequence and connect that one to there, and then we connect this one to here. So currently that's not going to do anything, but if we pull off of the event pin, and then under add event, if we add a custom event, so just gonna call it something. So if you've done that correctly, you should see this. It should say channel. So basically the channel number here is the channel number that you where's it gone? Let's scroll back up. So if you scroll down in the blueprint details panel in the editor, where you've got event dispatchers, you've got start trigger channel number. So that will be this one. And then if we add in another custom event for the stop, we've got channel here, so that would be this channel number. So whatever you set that to is what's going to come out of this pin. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to add some kind of comparison check to enable us to fire our logic when we get the value that we're after. So that way we can use different channel numbers on each instance. So if I pull off of that and look for an equal, and do the same for this one. So back in our blueprint, so we want to enable the start trigger, so we're going to tick that, and enable the dispatching of the stop trigger, so we tick that as well. And for our stop trigger, we're going to use channel 1. Our start trigger, we'll use channel 0. So we got 0 up here for the start, and down here we need to set that to 1. Okay. Then we want to run a branch condition so that the next bit of logic for each of these will only fire when the channel number is equal to what we've specified here. So if I pull off of there and search for branch, and then we can connect it as so. And then we are going to run off of the true pin. And so what we would do next is we need our reference to the dynamic material that we added. So let's get that. And if we pull off of that, we can use a set vector parameter value, and we need to name the parameter that we want to change. So that parameter name is the name that we gave this in the material. Okay, and then we're going to set a color for it. So you can use that pinky color for that one, and I'm gonna paste that one in here, and let's set that one to blue. Actually, I might trying to think, because the default color is red, so maybe change that one to green. Actually, it might be easier to see it. So we're gonna, I need to connect that one as well. So we're gonna only fire that when this condition is true. So if I connect that in like that, and this one in like that, okay, just compile and save. That's good, no errors. So just to recap what we've done here. So on the event begin play, we've created a dynamic material instance for our cube to use. We've set a reference to that dynamic material so we can call it again later in the logic. Then we've used a get all actors of class node to get all the actors that are the same class as our blueprint, the audio asset blueprint. Then we're doing a check to make sure that there's at least one of them in the level before we continue with the rest of the logic. And then we've got a sequence node, and we're running a sequence, which so we've got two steps in the sequence that they essentially both do the same thing, apart from the last bit where it's a different color. So off of each sequence pin, we've got bind event to proximal start trigger. So this bit will receive the signal from the audio blueprint when it sends out the event dispatcher. And then off of the event pins, we've got the custom event, which retrieves the channel number that gets sent along with the event dispatcher. And then we're doing a check on it to make sure it equals the amount that we're comparing it against. And if it is, then we're running the logic to set the color. Okay, so now with that done, if I just select that blueprint and we'll drag it into the level. Can get this window out of the way now. So I'm just gonna also scale this one up. So we just double check. So this is the instance that we're gonna trigger it from. So again, I'm just gonna quickly check again. So all the way down at the bottom where we've got event dispatchers, so that's ticked, so we know that it's going to send it, and that one's ticked on the stop, so we know it's going to send that, and our channel numbers match the ones that we set in our new blueprint. So if this works correctly, when the audio starts for this, this red box is going to turn green, and then when the audio stops, it's going to turn blue. So now if I hit play, hopefully everything should work properly. So let's go in, and we can see it's turned green, and then if we come out, that did not work. And the reason why it didn't work is I didn't change the name on that variable, so that's a little bit annoying. Let's try it again. And there. So you can see we've got an external blueprint triggering from our audio system. Okay, and so you can set that up so it uses comparison variables for any instance that you've got, and each instance can be sending out different channel numbers, so you can you can set up your blueprint logic to do different things depending on which instance has sent it the signal. So yeah, it's quite a good system. So obviously it's a bit just changing a color of a cube is a bit rudimentary for it, but you could do something really cool, like I don't know, spawn actors or something, you know, create something that triggers, that looks cool, that goes in time with the music. So yes, hopefully you found that useful. Any questions, just leave it in the comments section and I'll try to get back to you. So yeah, thanks for watching, and catch you with the next video. Okay, thanks, bye.